Hello and welcome back to the Games Kingdom. My name is Carl King and today we're going to be looking at Hexfall. This is a new game by 2d6.uk. It's a two-player skirmish war game stroke tabletop game. They recommend ages of 14 plus and it plays within 30 to 60 minutes. As you can see on the box, it's made in Britain and basically you get a nice set of components. We'll have a look at those in a bit. It, as I say, is a tactical skirmish game about positioning, timing and adapting to the battlefield as it changes around you. So you're going to be placing out your faction tokens onto the board. There will be some terrain pieces and the ones in this box look like they've been 3D printed. You'll get some blue and red tokens. So basically this is orcs versus dwarves. So I've yet to read the rule book. This only turned up today, Friday the 28th of August. So I'm just giving you a quick sort of unboxing really, and then once I've played a game with somebody I'll come back and give maybe another overview with that, but also potentially do a written review for a couple of sites, Zartu and Everything Board Games, because although this is primarily a skirmish sort of war game stroke battle game, you still play it on a board, and yeah, there's no miniatures involved, there's hexes, and yeah, it's a nice looking set of components. So as I say, what we'll do, we'll undo the box. So yeah, nice, very nice chunky well made box with some nice artwork. We've got a nice little sort of backdrop book here, so it shows you about gaming mats and what the components look like here, and then you've got an online map generator that you can use as well, and then more objective markers here. Now there are going to be apparently more releases with different factions, so if you like what you see here and you pick up a box, you can buy the upcoming ones which will have different, as I say, different faction stroke races in them, and you can also, you're in there, you'll get an additional mat and you'll put the two mats side by side and you'll be able to play either on larger battlefields or you'll be able to play 3/4 player games. So if you keep an eye out for that, but you can check out their website. I'll show you some bits in a minute. We'll put the rule book to one side. This is version 1.2, but it's a very nice laid out and got some nice artwork and some examples in there of moving and everything. But as I say, we'll have a look at that in a bit. We're going to dive into the box and have a look at what you get. So as I say, there's some very nice 3D printed terrain pieces in here, so looking forward potentially to seeing what they look like all painted up. So you've got some different sizes, so this is a 2 hex, the other one was a 3, here's another 3, so you can see there they're sort of dwarven pillars, the sort of standard fantasy dwarven pillar type symbols on them. And this is a 5 hex coverage. So like I say, very nicely done. I'm not sure if all the boxes are going to come with these, but if they are, then that's a very nice touch. You can also, I believe, go onto the website and there might be some STL files on there that you can download and print these or more of these if you wish to. You also get a nice little sort of almost like napkin ring there with the game name round it, and you get a neoprene mat. So the battlefield is not massive, so probably a couple of feet long by a foot wide. So yeah, as you can see there are the hexes on there, so you've got 3 hexes at each end and then a sort of multitude of hexes in the middle. So you know, there's a very small table space that you're going to need for this, but it's a nice neoprene printed mat. Looks very nice, and as I say, on that book that we showed you first off, which we'll have a quick look through in more detail near the end of the video, you can sort of go on and do your own map generators, and there may well be some different maps that you can get. And as I say, you'll be able to join these mats together, because in here as well you've got this particular sort of joining piece, so that will go down the side of your mat, and you'll put that down there like that. That fits into those sort of recesses in the hexes, and then you'll join the other mat onto here, and you'll be able to play across that particular divide. So we'll just put these to one side. We'll move this box away. So we've got these are the dwarves, I believe. They are. So there's some very nice artwork on these very chunky, you can see there, very chunky playing pieces. So these go out on the board, and they've all got numbers on. There are some dice and bits and pieces. There's no cards. So and the back of them have also got sort of dwarven type symbols on there, I believe. So you've got some nice dwarven hammers. But yeah, they're all, so you've got also different things on there, like push and fight, so, and then move, so pull. So as I say, I've not read through the rule book yet, I just wanted to sort of show you what you would get. And then you've got these dwarven figures, basically sort of headshots of dwarves, and they've got different numbers and symbols on there. So again, you'll need to read through the rules, which I believe also you can download on the Hexfall website. So you can go on there, you can download your own rule book if you want, or just have a look and read through and see if this game is going to be for you. But as I say, you get a fair number of these, and these are just the dwarven ones. So we'll push those over to one side, and then you also get these sort of tokens. So you've got things like your dwarven leader stroke warrior. I think there's 3 warriors in the thing. There are some nice little cubes and other 3D printed things. So as I say, I'm not sure whether all of the games will come with it like this, or whether they're going to be sort of mass produced and sort of moulded using the sort of standard techniques that tokens like this are produced by. And then you get 3 dice. So you've got your blue ones there for the dwarves. So they all come about, and that's, as I say, the dwarven force. And then we've got similar here in the nice big sort of cloth bags. So you've got similar, so you've got again the move, the fight, the push, and there'll be a pull in here somewhere, I believe. So but yeah, you've got all of those again on the back of there, and then you've got your sort of more orc looking symbols, and then you've got your orc warriors and fighters. So as I say, you've got all different, again, different numbers. So you had a 4 there, that's a 2, there's a 3. So again, very nicely done, very chunky, very solid. So those are your dwarven, your orc components. And then you get a similar bag of things in red, where you've got again the sort of dwarven warrior there, and the same sort of components as we had in the blue, but in red. And again, 3 small red dice. I mean, obviously you could change those up for bigger dice if you wanted, but yeah, they're more than adequate for what you need. So again, nice chunky box, does exactly what it needs to. So you've got compartments for the bags, you've got a compartment to put your rolled up gaming mat in, and also an area in the middle where your terrain pieces will go. So if we go back to the little book, so this little backdrop book, so as I say, you've got gaming mats there, so you can see there that there are the potential, there might be some different gaming mats, but you could also potentially buy normal gaming mats from them. So again, check out their website. So you've got some pictures there showing you the sort of game in progress, and those tokens, those sort of square blocks sitting on some of them, and that's that little booklet. So what we'll do, we'll bring the box back in, and we'll use the box as a bit of a table to sort of show you the rule book. We'll make that a bit more secure. So you get your table of contents, your game overview, victory and draw conditions. So you win by eliminating all enemy champions. If the battle ends without full elimination, the winner is the player who dealt the most total damage to enemy champions. The game is a draw if both final champions fall during the same initiative step or effect, and the game is also a draw if both players are down to a single surviving champion with no warriors left on the battlefield. And then you've got your faction identity, so you've got those hammers there that I showed you for the dwarves, and then you've got the sort of battle axes for the orcs. Obviously you've got the overview there of the map that we showed you, so that's your battlefield and the layout. Then you've got your activation tokens, the square damage markers, and then your hex based terrain. And then obviously it tells you how to set up the game. So you've got your champions, it tells you how you place them out on the board, so you can't be closer than 2 hexes when you start out. Then you've got your turn structure, your draw rules, and your champion draw rules. You've got your warrior placements, and then you've got legal placement, illegal placement, and layers. So you've got your top layer and your ground layer. Your warrior anatomy, so you've got initiative, so this will just tell you what the bits and the symbols mean on each of your sort of hexed character tokens. I was going to say discs, but tokens. Then you've got your melee attack, you've got ranged attacks, you've got damage and armor, you've got your core stats, damage reduction and armor again. Your fight and initiative, so you've got your fight participants fight sequence, so you can run through these sequences until you get used to what you're doing in the game. You'll run through the fight sequence, and then you've got a fight example, so it shows you in the book exactly how that fight has sort of panned out. You've got your initiative power, line of sight, and targeting. So you've got your targeting summary, you've got valid targets, invalid, smoke, you've got fight examples again, you've got your utility tokens, so that's where you've got these move, fight, push and pull, so it will tell you, and a bomb, so it will tell you all about those in the rules. You've got your move, push and pull, so each of those here have got their own little thing that they will tell you. You've got a move example, you've got your board tokens, so nets, banners and smoke. Again, more board tokens, your explosive traps and walls, and then your explosive example, so again, and your bomb example. So again, they're giving you all of the information you need. There's only sort of 20 pages ish, 21 pages in the rule book, so it's not a massive rule book. And as you can see, there are some nice big pictures sort of taking up half of some of these A4 pages, so you haven't got a lot of rules to learn. So I think this will be a quite quick game to teach and get your head around. If you're used to playing board games and war games, you'll pick this up very quickly. And as I say, you've got your multiplayer and keeping armies separate, and then at the back of the book you've got a quick reference page which for for me, what I normally tend to do with these is either photocopy them or download them from the sort of company website and then laminate them so each player's got their own copy. And then on the back it just tells you again who the company has made it. So as I say, it's 2d6.uk. They've got their own website. So this is what it is. So it's Hexfall. So it's wargaming distilled. Big battles satisfaction without the usual overhead. So you've got all of this in the box, and you get all of what you see here if you go onto their website for £49.50. It's free delivery in UK mainland. So it tells you what's in the box. So you've got 90 hex tiles, 1 illustrated rulebook, 1 gaming mat, 86 utility tokens, 4 3D terrain pieces, and 1 multiplayer mat connector, which is that sort of like ladder stroke bridge that I showed you earlier, which will sort of join 2 sets together. So you could buy 2 sets of this if you wanted a bigger game, or you could wait until those other factions come out. But yeah, go on to their website at Hexfall. Check it all out. It's 100% made in the UK, so that's a very nice change as well, that we've got something being made like this in the UK rather than sort of overseas and having to wait for it to ship on boats and being fulfilled. If you order these, you'll get it sent direct from the manufacturers and designers, and you'll be able to start playing fairly quickly after receipt of your game. You've got everything in there. You don't necessarily need to paint the terrain, but I think it will be a nice touch if you paint up the terrain. It's not going to be a huge sort of time investment to do that, because they're not massively large, and pretty much you're painting sort of greys and maybe a few sort of things just to sort of match in with your board. So you'll be painting mostly in things like grey, because they're ruins, and you've got sort of dwarven head statue ruins. So yeah, you might be painting a little bit of shade in some areas, but yeah, these are lovely little pieces, and for £49.50 you get a hell of a lot of stuff in here, and it's really nicely produced. As I say, they're really thick pieces of for your tokens. I'm not sure what they are. The plastic, I would say. Yeah, they're not sort of foam cards, so they're really nice and solid. And then you've got these other 3D sort of printed components here for your damage markers and your other tokens. But as I say, if you wanted to, you could change those up and maybe use some sort of some 10mm or whatever smaller dwarfen pieces, and use those in your games instead of those. But when you get the game initially, use what you've got, and then maybe if you like what you see, go out and sort of upgrade if you want to. But for me, these little pieces are more than adequate and look really nice. So yeah, that's Hexfall by 2d6.uk. Check them out online. They've got their own website, and you can buy direct from them, and they'll send it to you if you're in the UK free of charge. So until we do another one of these, it's bye for now, and as I say, we'll come back once we've had a game, give you another sort of overview of this, and also if you keep an eye out, there'll also be some written reviews. So as I say, until we come back again, bye for now.